In this episode, we're going to talk to Chris Ricard, and we're going to talk to him about his experience of pitching on Dragon's Den and why he loves teaching at Douglas College. Hey guys, so welcome to our channel and our big discussion. Every week we're connecting with students that are past and present and future and current faculty and sort of just some of the different things that they've been up to in their past careers, where they see the program going, and some of the things that they're really interested in. So this is Chris Ricard. Or Chris Ricard. He's a really good colleague of mine and a bit of a riding buddy. We've definitely crashed and bashed our way down some insane trails on the North Shore Mountains and done some marketing course planning at Deep Cove Brewery. What you might not know about him is he loves skiing as well, and he's also met Ken Block once on a trip to Japan. But the first thing I wanted to ask you about was just your time when you were prepping for the Dragon's Den with the escape rooms. Because Chris comes from a really big background. So kind of what was that experience like? Could you kind of unfold that for us?
Well, I was in the middle of doing my MBA, and then across my desk in a marketing class came this case around escape rooms. So long story short, I ended up doing way more research than I typically do on a work project, as I'm sure students can identify with, and ended up thinking this is a great idea, convinced a good friend of mine to go into business with me. So we co-found Smarty Pants Escape Rooms, where we opened locations in Gastown, Edmonton, and Calgary. And then we weren't even open 2 weeks, and my business partner phones me up. This is at the end of like a year of construction and design and just chaos and pouring a lot of money and time into this project. And he's like, we have to go to Toronto. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't need to go to Toronto, because he's from Toronto. So, and he flew, he's always flying everywhere. And so he's like, no, we're going to be on Dragon's Den next week. I'm like, we've only been open 2 weeks. And so anyways, I was like, okay, here's a great opportunity. But it was like, oh, we have to be there next week. So I think we had like 4 or 5 days from the time that he called me to the time that we had to be there. And so we prepped, and, it was a big learning experience. And if you want to be entertained, watch the Dragon's Den with us on it. It was entertaining. And a funny aside, Doug Beach was he was there to tape for Dragon's Den at the same time we were.
So we have two faculty that have been on Dragon's Den.
Faculty, yeah.
Awesome.
And we were there at the same time.
Awesome. And then kind of after that, you made the move over to becoming a faculty member at Douglas College. And so just tell us kind of like, what's your experience and why do you love the job that you have?
I had been teaching on and off on a freelance contract basis for upwards of 15 years through self-employment programs and continuing studies. So I knew that I really enjoyed teaching, and I was teaching stuff that I really enjoyed: marketing, sales, entrepreneurship. And so I was just sort of looking ahead to the future, and it was like, okay, well, I'd like to teach in a faculty, be it full-time or part-time. So that's why I did my MBA. And I graduated from Douglas College. I did a diploma in marketing before moving on to other post-secondary work, and really like Douglas College, and also worked on the self-employment program at Douglas College. So I have a lot of background with the college. Really enjoyed it. It's a great place, and finished my MBA in right place at the right time, and they offered me a job.
And you've been a great faculty member and colleague when I first started and came on the scene, so to speak. And it's really changed since. And a lot of great work's been done with our committee, but we also got to give a big shout out to Chris for really helping to push that digital marketing concentration forward. So could you talk a little bit further about that program and just maybe the applied side, some of the courses, and then that kind of hidden special project that you're working on with some of the real life digital assets?
Sure. This is a group effort. by no means can I take any. It's Shannon Cox and Lauren that sort of got this whole sort of digital thing going. I've been part of the whole group, sort of working on the individual courses, building them out, and then starting to deliver them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been great. It's great for us to be able to take this sort of new idea and sort of build it out. And the point that Matt mentioned around the secret, it's this committee that we're building right now, and it's around building digital. Well, we're going to start off with two social platforms, and those are going to focus on the student's perspective around these digital courses. Because not only are they learning, but they're applying. We're putting students in projects where they're working with companies. Mm-hmm. And so we want to find out from the students, how is this experience? And we also will probably be talking to employers and finding out their experience was, and any other stakeholders, as there are other stakeholders that are involved in this. But it's super exciting, and we're looking forward to growing the number of courses that we're offering as we, as digital sort of morphs and grows, and we sort of figure out what areas students want to really concentrate on.
Nice. Awesome. And kind of one thing I also wanted to add was that Chris is also a definite adrenaline sports junkie. And so it's definitely played into some of the different projects you've brought into class and some of the different things you've done. But can you just tell us maybe where you love to go in Japan and why? And then the one person that you actually met that we talked about a little further.
Sure. I find it funny, an adrenaline junkie. I guess I am a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, but it's all relative. Like, I've got a lot of friends that are just crazy, and sort of my skills pale in comparison to them. But I just like getting outside. That's what it's all about. Mountain biking, snowboarding, skiing, climbing, whatever it is. In Japan, Hokkaido. I've been to Hokkaido 3 times, and the only reason I've been able to go over there is, one, I've got a friend whose wife works for Air Canada, so we get really cheap flights. And then got a friend over there. We stay at his house, and he has a heli ski op, cat ski op. He actually has a lodge and everything else. So it's super cheap. Hokkaido Backcountry Club, Black Diamond Lodge, and Clayton Kernan is the owner.
Nice.
That's who you want to hook up with if you want to go to Japan and get it done right. And last trip I met Sean Pettit. He used to be a pro skier, and he actually converted to snowboarding. So we hung out with him and his crew on and off for I guess about 9 days. And then the year before, we hung out a little bit with Ken Block and his crew. And then the year before that, we hung out with Austin Sweeten and a couple of other people that were just in Travis Rice's, I think it was the 4th Phase movie. Travis Rice is one of the best snowboarders on earth. So it's always, you never know who you're going to run into in Clayton's operation. He's most of the snowboarding and ski videos that you see out there, you'll either see Hokkaido Backcountry Club in the credits or Clay's name.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I guess just the last question is, for future and potential students, why do they want to take marketing at Douglas College?
Marketing at Douglas College, one, great faculty, but what's so great about the faculty? We all have experience coming from industry. So, we have, we'll talk about the successes that we've encountered in industry. We'll also talk about the failures and challenges that we've encountered, and those are extremely important in learning. So the faculty is important. The other thing that's important is Douglas is an applied college. So whether you're in marketing or different faculties, especially in marketing, we want you to be working with companies and applying the skills you're learning today into a project that you're working on today with an employer, and hopefully impressing upon them your skill sets and your personality so that they want to hire you, or they want to tell somebody else to hire you, or you're the first person on my list when I'm going to hire somebody. So those are the reasons that you want to come to Douglas.
Awesome. Well, guys, we got to say thank you to Chris for taking the time to talk with us on this channel, and hopefully we'll see actually more faculty and students and even some industry contacts, and just to show what this program's about and why we love doing it. So thank you so much, Chris, for taking the time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Matt.